About a week ago, a lady at church called and said she had 2 TVs I could have if I wanted them. She said one was their main Zenith set that had stopped working. She said it got so it would turn itself off, and then it finally just got to the point it wouldn't even power on. And then she said she had a little 13-inch Sharp TV that worked fine, but they just didn't use it anymore since everything had gone digital. Well, I went over and picked up the TVs today, and this is actually a 2002 Zenith 27-inch console on a swivel base. Has the place for the VCR and DVD player down here. It had a wooden shelf down here when she gave it to me, but she decided she wanted the shelf or something, so she kept that. Well, we slid the TV in the pickup truck on its side, not thinking it would tumble over. Well, the Zenith fell over and hit the Sharp TV. So now the Sharp TV has officially been EOL'd by the Zenith. I mean, I'm really not that hurt about it because, you know, this TV is really too new for my collecting interest, and it would be something that would be hard to even get $5 or $10 for, but I hate that it got destroyed because someone could have used it. As it is now, I'll just use it for parts. Well, when I got this TV home, sure enough, it wouldn't power up. Well, actually, it would come up for a second and then immediately shut down. And the problem was this 100 microfarad electrolytic capacitor in the switching power supply. And as you can see on the capacitance meter, it reads 47 microfarad, which is more than half off. Now I'll show you the inside of the set. Quite a change from the Zenith of the 50s, 60s, and 70s. All we have is one little circuit board, a big CRT, and a lot of wasted space. Now, fortunately, this uses a Thompson CRT. It doesn't use those crappy Zenith CRTs that are bad about shorting out. By the time this set was made in August of 2002, Zenith was owned by Gold Star, and I think this is probably one of the last consoles that they offered. In fact, the newest one I've seen up to this point was 2001. But anyway, I guess I'll try to sell this set for a few dollars, or try to give it to some needy person. If I can find someone that will even take it. I've actually tried to give TVs like this to people who were supposedly in need before, and they turned them down because they were either too old or not flat enough, or any number of reasons. Well, the way I see it, if you're down and out, you should be willing to take and be happy with whatever someone wants to give you. If I was down and out and somebody gave me a 9-inch black and white TV, I'd be thrilled to get it. But people today are a little more snobby than they used to be. And there's the capacitor that failed where my nut driver is, 100 microfarad, 25 volt. Actually a fairly common problem with this chassis. There's the data tag on the back, assembled in USA, manufactured August 2002. And this does have the AV input jack, so that will help sell it or find it a home should I give it away. It seems like now everybody wants TVs with input jacks, and pretty much now that everything's going HDMI, then even these types of jacks are not as popular as they used to be. But pretty much a TV has to have at least these types of input jacks, or you can just about forget selling it. I know a few years ago I had a 19-inch Sony Trinitron from the mid-80s, just a basic TV, no AV input jacks. I was trying to get $25 for it, and this guy came and looked at it, and he's like, well, it looks nice and all, but I want something with jacks for my daughter to plug her DVD player into. And I'm like, well, you know, you can buy an RF modulator for $10, or you can use an old VCR for the same purpose. And he's like, yeah, well, I know how to do all that, but you know, I don't want that. I want the jacks to be on the TV. And I didn't say it out loud, but I'm thinking to myself, you know, what do you expect for 25 bucks, you know? I went to the estate sale and picked up something you don't see every day, this 1950s Magnavox AM radio and 45 RPM record changer. The case is in real good shape. The only thing I'm bummed out about is the handle is missing, so I need to try to find a picture of one of these units so I can see what kind of handle to track down. And I found this spindle laying inside the thing. It obviously came off of another record player. They wanted $42 for this thing, which seemed to be a little steep. This was the second day of the sale, and I managed to talk them down to 32. And if this would have been just the ordinary 45 RCA player, I would have probably left it, but you don't see these Magnavoxes that often. They had a lot more stuff I would have bought had they come off of the prices. They had a Technics turntable from the mid-80s and a Sony tabletop record player with a Girard changer fitted with a Pickering magnetic cartridge and a standalone VM record changer, probably from the mid-70s, with a Tetrad cartridge in it, and an old Concord tube-type reel-to-reel tape recorder. But the only problem, they were wanting $65 a piece for these items, and I wasn't going to do that. I picked out a few records I wanted, a couple of 10-inch Al Jolson albums on Decca that looked in fair shape, and one by the Butterfield Blues Band. I can't remember what the other one I picked up was, but I took them up to pay for them, and they were wanting like $6 a piece, and I said, no thank you, I don't want them that bad, so they got left there. I remember whenever I was a boy, an estate sale was just a means to get rid of stuff, and everything was cheap because they wanted to clear out the contents of a house. Now you have all these antiques experts running these sales, and they price everything through the roof. They also had some black plastic crap Pioneer stereo equipment for, I think they wanted $45 for the CD player and $65 for the receiver, and you know I can't deal with those kind of prices. You know, I was happy I was able to get this little Magnavox, but beyond that, the rest of it had to stay. I also picked up this little 6-tube Firestone that I believe is an Arvin built set. Also seen some Silvertones with the exact same chassis. This is uses octal tubes and a 3-gang tuning condenser, so this should be a pretty decent set once it's fixed up. Got this for $22.50 at the flea market. Obviously the cabinet's going to need to be repainted, and there's a tight crack on one side, but I think it's highly restorable. Okay, there you go, the 2002 Zenith console TV, an easy repair, and some other things. Okay, thanks for watching, and more to come later.